started the company 20 years ago, so I'm the fifth Beatle. There's 4 academic founders, and then I joined. And so we started the company on the premise that any business on the internet should be measured. You don't just push stuff out on the internet. There's a thing called experience that you should be measuring, because you don't know if what you think you're pushing over the internet is going to work on the other side, right? You think about, you and I are thousands of miles apart. We could be accessing Nike.com, for example. Well, Nike's coming from one data center serving 2 people in 2 very different locations. And there's a lot of complexity between Nike and those endpoints. So we started the business saying you need to measure the experience, make sure that when you put that business on the internet, it's a high quality experience so people can get on and do what they want to do with your business. And we started to focus on video, because we said that's something that as you push video over the internet, it was not built for video. You need to make sure that the quality is good. And if you go back, I know you and I can remember this, early days of streaming media, man, was heavy buffering. It was terrible quality, constantly interrupted, like low buffering, low bit rate, high pixelation, blurry video, and that's called a bad experience. So we started to measure video on the internet for all of these publishers, helping them push that quality up. And the head of HBO, when we were working with HBO, said it was critical, because if I'm going to build a TV business on the internet, I have to build a TV experience, because people know what a basketball game looks like on TV. If I'm going to put something over the internet, it has to look the same way, or people are going to go back to watching it on TV. Why do something lower quality? Even if it's more convenient. If it's low quality, I'm just going to go back to television. So the bet to go to streaming required a great experience. So that's what we do. So we got into streaming video, started to measure and launch all of the big services: HBO, Disney, ESPN, Paramount Plus, Peacock, NBC, all of the major broadcasters. And then when they started really pushing live events, then it got really interesting, because now you're not talking about, I get to watch a VOD asset whenever I want. People were showing up and watching at the same time. And same concept that, you look at, we've done all the Super Bowls, all the Olympics, all the World Cups. As a matter of fact, we're doing the World Cup right now for 20 different streamers. That means that when the game starts, everybody's watching at the same exact time. And if there's a buffering event, or if there's an interruption, people lose their minds. Because why? The game is live and I need to be watching it as it's happening. So if you have a bad experience and somebody's leaning into a goal about to be scored, Messi's about to kick a penalty kick, and that goes into buffering, that's a massive emotion that publishers do not want to deal with. So
absolutely.
That's really the power of what we do, is in real time, we're measuring and monitoring the experience everybody's having, and giving those publishers the ability to start tuning those knobs. As you're watching the World Cup, there's somebody back in a knock somewhere looking at a dashboard saying, okay, something went wrong, let's make some adjustments so we can clear that out, so we make sure no one's interrupted in their live sporting events. So that's how we did it. Now we're moving into Agentic, same concept. As people start talking to agents, those businesses need to know, is that agent helping consumers? Are they happy? Or is it miserable? Because if it's miserable, they're just going to go back to buying other ways, and the Agentic promise is not fulfilled. Just like streaming video, if it was a bad experience, would not fulfill the promise of a new TV medium.